You know that feeling, right?
Mm.
When the group chats are just silent, bone dry. Your phone isn't buzzing, and it just feels like, well, like nobody's around, just you and your thoughts.
Yeah, that quiet can feel really loud sometimes.
Exactly. And we're often taught, label that loneliness like it's something broken that needs fixing, more chats, more meetups, just more noise.
Right, like a problem to solve.
But what if we totally flip that? What if that silence isn't a problem at all? What if it's actually a signal?
A signal of what, though?
That's what we're diving into today, this really powerful idea. You're not lonely. You're actually leveling up.
Ah, okay. Interesting frame.
Yeah, we've been looking at some fascinating material that unpacks this. It redefines that solitude, not as something you run from, but as this fertile ground for some serious personal growth.
So the mission today is to explore why that quiet space might be productive.
Precisely. Why it might be the most productive zone you can possibly enter.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Where do we start?
Well, let's start with that feeling of being ghosted. When people seem to disappear, the first thought is often, is it me? Am I boring?
Right, that insecurity hits hard.
But what does our source material say? Why do people really step back sometimes?
Yeah, it offers a really strong counter to that insecurity. The idea is people don't vanish because you're boring. It suggests the shift happens when your vision, your ambition starts to become, well, almost intimidating to others.
Intimidating? How so?
Or maybe when your focus, your grind, as the source puts it, just gets louder than, say, the casual gossip or the usual social stuff.
Louder than gossip. I like that. So it's like your frequency changes.
Exactly. Your vibrational frequency, you could say. It's a fundamental shift.
So when your grind gets louder, what does that look like in real life? What choices are you making differently?
Well, that's when your priorities become really visible, right? It's choosing maybe a focused workout instead of just another night out. Or maybe you're diving deep into a book, learning something new instead of, just scrolling through reels for hours.
Right. Not judging the scrolling, but making a different choice.
Precisely. It's not about judging others. It's about actively choosing things that fuel your own development.
Yeah.
And when your focus shifts that dramatically, things naturally get quieter around you.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's not about them rejecting you necessarily.
It's more a consequence of your new path, your new direction.
Okay. And that leads us right into this really striking phrase from the material.
Yeah.
Growth is a lonely sport. That sounds kind of harsh, doesn't it?
It does sound stark, yeah. But there's a deep truth in it, I think.
What does it really capture for someone feeling that quiet?
Well, connecting it back, it speaks to what the material calls shedding your old skin.
Like a snake.
Exactly like a snake. You have to shed the old restrictive layer to grow. For us, it means actively letting go of old habits, maybe old distractions, even old versions of ourselves that just don't fit where we're heading. The source says you can't fly when you're carrying dead weight.
Dead weight. And that doesn't always mean bad things or bad people.
Yeah, not at all. That's a crucial point. Dead weight could just be, well, your comfortable friend circle, if you're all going in very different directions now.
Or just your comfort zone itself.
Absolutely. That comfort zone that hates change. Or it could even be the you used to be before you started this intense growth phase.
So how does shedding this weight lead to the crowd thinning out?
Well, think about it. Your priorities change. Maybe you get up earlier, you're less available for last-minute hangouts, your conversations might get deeper or more focused.
Right, you're just operating differently.
Yeah, and people who aren't on that same wavelength, they might naturally just drift a bit.
Yeah.
It's usually not hostile, it's just distance forming because your paths are diverging, like friction between two different roads.
Okay, so the crowd thins. You're in this quieter space. It might feel weird at first, maybe a bit isolating, but you're saying it's not actually a bad thing.
Definitely not inherently bad. The question becomes, what are you doing in that silence? What's happening in that space?
Right. Is it empty space or something else?
Exactly. And the material uses some really potent imagery here. It says this quiet space is where kings are forged.
Wow. Right.
It's where warriors sharpen their swords. It's where you build the mindset that can't be broken.
So it's not just sitting around being quiet, it's active.
It's incredibly active, but internally active. This isn't just isolation. It's about dedicating that focused time to, say, deep work on a project you're passionate about, or maybe intensely learning a new skill.
Or just figuring yourself out.
Yes, profound self-reflection, clarifying your values, your vision, doing that really deep internal work away from all the noise and opinions. That's how you strengthen your core.
That sounds amazing, but also intense. Like it requires a lot of discipline to stay focused in that quiet, right?
Yes.
Especially if it starts feeling less like forging and more just alone.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
It implies serious self-discipline is needed. The key, I think, is viewing the time as intentional, as productive.
Not just a void you fell into.
Exactly. It's about being deliberate with your solitude. When you actively choose to do that inner work, the feeling shifts. It's less I'm alone and more I'm unavailable right now for things that don't serve my growth.
That reframing seems critical. Unavailable.
It really is. It helps sustain the effort, I think.
Okay, so while you're in this, let's say, unavailable state building, sharpening, forging what's happening with everyone else,
Yeah.
because this path feels pretty different from the norm.
It is a stark contrast, yeah. And the source material doesn't shy away from highlighting that. It suggests, while others might be, and this is a quote, drowning in comfort.
Oof, drowning in comfort.
Yeah. Staying in familiar patterns, maybe consuming endless content, having superficial chats, avoiding anything that requires real effort or change. The person who's leaning into this solitude, they're actively building. They're stacking skills, lifting iron, building businesses.
Wow.
Also healing, planning, and get this, preparing for a future so big they'll call it ego, but you'll call it destiny.
Whoa. That's powerful. Destiny, not ego.
It really underscores the purpose behind the quiet, doesn't it? It's not empty, it's preparation.
So let's circle back to that core idea then. You're not lonely.
You're unavailable to the mediocre.
That phrase just lands, doesn't it? Unavailable to the mediocre.
It really does. It's sharp. It just reinforces that your priorities have fundamentally shifted. You're not being antisocial just to be difficult.
Right.
You're prioritizing growth, purpose, mastery over what the source calls the mediocre. It's an active choice. You're opting out of things that don't align with your, let's say, highest potential.
And talking about purpose, the material goes further. It makes this really bold claim. The world doesn't need more average.
Strong statement.
So if not average, what does the world need, according to this perspective? What kind of vision is it promoting?
Well, what's fascinating is how specific it gets. It says the world needs, quote, more dangerous men with pure intentions.
Dangerous. Okay, we need to unpack that one.
Absolutely crucial. It clarifies immediately that dangerous here isn't about physical threat or aggression, not at all.
Okay, good.
It means formidable. Having a focused intent that can actually make an impact, maybe challenge the status quo, having vision and having discipline so sharp it slices through doubt like a blade.
Wow. Discipline like a blade.
Yeah, and it's important to note, while the source uses the term men, this principle feels universal, right? It's about anyone, any person, regardless of gender, cultivating that level of focused, purpose-driven excellence.
It's fueled by pure intentions and that sharp discipline.
Exactly. It's about impactful presence, not harm.
Okay, that reframes dangerous significantly. It's about focus and impact. So for you listening now, if you're in that quiet space, feeling that aloneness, what's the takeaway? What's the action?
The advice is incredibly direct. Don't run from it.
Don't try to fill the silence immediately.
Right. That feeling, that solitude, it's framed as an invitation, not some kind of punishment. The call to action is literally lean in, get quiet, get still, get dangerous.
Get dangerous in that focused, intentional way we just discussed.
Precisely. It's about actively embracing that moment, seeing its potential for transformation, instead of just seeing a void that needs filling fast. It's your cue.
Your signal to start forging.
Exactly.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening? I think the core message from this deep dive is pretty clear. That feeling of being alone, that quiet patch, it might actually be one of the most powerful signs that you're undergoing some really profound growth.
It's not a problem. It's a process, and potentially a very intentional one.
So maybe the next time you find yourself in that quiet space, when things get still and you hear that echo of your own thoughts, the question becomes, what skills will you choose to stack?
Yeah. And what future are you preparing for in that stillness?
Because it's not just about getting through the quiet times, is it? It's about actively using them, leveraging them to forge whatever destiny you're building.